Italy, a land where every stone holds history and every corner tells a story. From the mighty heart of the Roman Empire to the quiet streets where the Renaissance was born, golden hills basking under the sun, colorful villages hugging the coastlines. This is a place where history and nature dance together, where emotion meets reason. A lifetime might not be enough to take it all in, but in this journey, we invite you into something more than just a trip, a film that slows down time, a visual story that lets you feel Italy. Rome isn't just the capital of Italy, it's the soul of an ancient empire, echoing with centuries of history and wonder. As you walk its streets, you feel the heartbeat of Western civilization beneath your feet. Marble ruins, golden-lit churches, and tucked-away cafes seem to exist in perfect harmony, telling stories of power, faith, and timeless beauty. Rising from the heart of the city, the Colosseum still commands awe. Built nearly 2,000 years ago, this colossal arena once welcomed roaring crowds eager for epic battles and grand performances. Its weathered arches now stand silent, yet they whisper the drama and spectacle that once filled its seats. Not far away, the Roman Forum stretches across a quiet field of broken stone. Once the epicenter of Roman life, this was where senators shaped empires, worshippers honored their gods, and generals returned in glory. Today, wildflowers grow between the ruins, and the past lingers gently in the air. Crossing the Tiber leads you to the world's smallest country, and perhaps its most sacred. Vatican City glows with spiritual and artistic magnificence. St. Peter's Basilica rises toward the heavens, crowned with Michelangelo's iconic dome. Inside the Vatican Museums, the Sistine Chapel leaves visitors breathless beneath its painted sky of creation and salvation. Back in the heart of Rome, the sound of water draws you to the Trevi Fountain. Sculpted in stone, the sea god Oceanus bursts from a dreamlike scene of waves and seahorses. Toss a coin over your shoulder, and the legend promises you'll return. And many do. But Rome isn't only in its monuments. It's in the golden light falling across cobblestone alleys, the clink of coffee cups in a sunlit piazza, and the quiet hush as day turns to dusk on the Spanish steps. Every moment here feels like it belongs to every age, a city that remembers everything, yet lives fully in the now. Northward through Italy's rolling hills, the city of Florence unfolds like a Renaissance painting brought to life. This is where human creativity reached new heights, where art, science, and beauty flourish together under Tuscan skies. As you step onto the streets of Florence, the scent of leather and espresso drifts through the air, mingling with the warm stone facades of centuries-old buildings. At the heart of the city, the Florence Cathedral rises in quiet majesty. Brunelleschi's dome, bold and graceful, has watched over the city since the 15th century, a symbol of imagination turned to stone. In the Uffizi Gallery, the masterpieces of Botticelli, Leonardo, and Michelangelo hang in hushed reverence. Their brushstrokes whisper stories of gods, mortals, and the pursuit of perfection. Just steps away, the Arno River reflects the golden glow of sunset, and the Ponte Vecchio, a bridge lined with glittering shops, invites you to pause and dream. But Florence is more than its past. It's in the soft strumming of a guitar echoing in a quiet piazza, the laughter over a shared gelato, the gentle clink of wine glasses at twilight. Here, beauty is not reserved for museums. It flows through everyday life. This city doesn't just preserve history, it inspires it. And then Venice, a city that floats not only on water but on dreams. Here the streets are canals and the traffic is gondolas. Time seems to soften as you glide through the quiet waterways, the echo of water lapping against ancient stone. Every turn reveals another crumbling facade bathed in golden light, another arched bridge connecting past to present. In St. Mark's Square, pigeons scatter as the campanile rings out over a sea of people and history. The basilica shimmers with mosaics that have watched over this square for centuries. Nearby, the Doge's palace whispers of power and intrigue, its pink marble walls glowing in the afternoon sun. But Venice is at its most magical when night falls. As the crowds fade and the lanterns flicker to life, the city transforms into something almost unreal. Music drifts from behind shuttered windows. A single boat glides under the Rialto Bridge, leaving only a ripple and a memory. Venice doesn't ask to be rushed. It invites you to slow down, listen closely, and believe in beauty again. Tuscany feels like a painting you can walk into, golden hills that roll endlessly beneath a sun-soaked sky, dotted with cypress trees, stone villas, and rows of ancient olive groves and vineyards that stretch toward the horizon. Venice doesn't ask to be rushed. It invites you to slow down, listen closely, and believe in beauty again. In the countryside, time slows. You pass through medieval hilltop towns like Montepulciano and San Gimignano, where narrow streets echo with footsteps and the scent of fresh bread and lavender floats on the breeze. At every turn, there's a panoramic view so perfect it almost feels staged. Terracotta rooftops, fields of sunflowers, and winding roads that disappear into the light. Life here unfolds gently, one espresso at a time, one glass of Chianti at sunset. In farmhouses and trattorias, meals are not just eaten, they are shared, long tables under grapevine canopies, laughter carried into the night. Tuscany isn't a place you merely visit. It's something you feel in your breath, in your pace, in the stillness that lingers even after you've moved on. Milan moves to a different rhythm, fast, sleek, and confident. It's a city where modern design meets timeless elegance, where glass skyscrapers stand beside neoclassical facades, and every corner feels like a page from a high-fashion magazine. In the heart of the city, the Duomo rises like a marble forest, its spires reaching into the sky with breathtaking detail. Just steps away, the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II glows under its glass dome. Not just a shopping arcade, but a temple to style, where couture and espresso coexist effortlessly. Milan is also a city of quiet contrasts. In the district of Brera, cobbled streets are lined with art galleries, hidden courtyards, and candlelit cafes, offering a softer, more intimate side of the city. And in the Navigli district, the canals shimmer at dusk as locals gather along the water for aperitivo, their conversations drifting into the night. Here, beauty is part of everyday life, in architecture, in attitude, in the way Milan wears its history like a well-tailored suit. Naples is raw, vibrant, and unfiltered, a city pulsing with life at every turn. It doesn't try to impress, it simply is, chaotic yet charming, gritty yet full of soul. Beneath its weathered facades and narrow alleyways lies a deep, beating heart shaped by centuries of art, empire, and everyday resilience. From the sweeping view along the Bay of Naples, Mount Vesuvius looms in silent watch, a constant reminder of nature's power and the fragile beauty of time. The Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a maze of ancient streets where scooters zip past hanging laundry and church bells echo between buildings that have stood for centuries. But Naples also feeds the spirit and the stomach. This is the birthplace of pizza, where every bite tells a story of tradition, pride, and simplicity done to perfection. In the Quartiere Spagnoli, life spills onto the streets, laughter, music, espresso bars, and voices that rise like a chorus of the city itself. It's messy, it's majestic, and it's unmistakably alive. Naples doesn't wait for you to admire it. It dares you to feel it. Verona is a city that speaks in whispers, of love, of legends, of time softly flowing, like the Adige River that runs through it. It's elegant without trying, romantic without needing to prove anything. The kind of place that makes you slow down, look up, and simply breathe it all in. You walk its cobbled streets and feel centuries brushing past you. Ancient Roman gates, sun-dappled piazzas, and Juliet's famous balcony, all standing quietly, wrapped in stories both imagined and real. But Verona doesn't rely on Shakespeare alone. Its charm is deeper, woven into the graceful arches of the arena, the warm colors of its houses, the quiet dignity of its bridges. As the day fades, golden light spills across Piazza del Erbe, where cafe spins gently and history hums beneath your feet. Verona is not loud. It's lyrical. A city of subtle beauty and enduring grace, where every turn feels like a soft note in a love song you didn't know you remembered. Pisa is more than just a leaning tower. It's a city where geometry meets poetry. As you approach the Piazza dei Miracoli, it almost feels unreal. The soft Tuscan light bounces off ivory-colored marble, and there it stands, that world-famous tilt, perfectly imperfect, quietly defying gravity and expectation. But Pisa's soul goes beyond its landmark. Wander away from the crowds, and the city reveals its academic heart, centuries of scholarship echoing through the halls of one of Europe's oldest universities. Students pedal past faded facades, cafes spill into the streets, and the Arno River reflects bridges that have carried countless footsteps across generations. There's a certain rhythm here, slower, thoughtful. Pisa doesn't rush to impress. It invites you to observe, to linger under sun-drenched arcades, to notice the small details, a weathered fresco, a quiet cloister, a hidden courtyard garden. It's a place that gently tilts your perspective, not just literally, but emotionally too. Siena rises from the Tuscan hills like a medieval dream frozen in time. Within its ochre-colored walls, life flows around the shell-shaped Piazza del Campo, the city's heart, where centuries of tradition converge in quiet harmony and wild celebration. Walk its narrow, winding alleys, and you'll feel the rhythm of a place that honors its past without being trapped by it. Every brick whispers stories of rivalries, of ancient neighborhoods, contrade, whose pride still pulses in vibrant flags and yearly rituals. Here, the legendary Palio is more than a horse race. It's an expression of identity, community, and passion that runs deep through Siena's veins. As you climb the Torre del Mangia or step into the majestic black and white cathedral, the city unfolds like a painting, bold, spiritual, and unapologetically unique. Siena doesn't shout. It sings softly in bells, footsteps, and sunsets that melt over terracotta rooftops. It invites you not just to see, but to feel, and to carry a piece of it so long after you've left. Bologna hums with life beneath its endless porticos, nearly 40 kilometers of covered walkways guiding your every step through history, art, and flavor. This is a city where red rooftops and medieval towers rise above lively piazzas, and where tradition meets innovation in every corner. Known as La Data, La Grassa, La Rosa, the learned, the fat, the red, Bologna wears each title with pride. It's home to the world's oldest university, where knowledge has flowed for centuries, shaping minds and movements. But it's also a place of indulgence, where tortellini simmer in rich broths, and ragu is slow-cooked with reverence, food not just as nourishment, but as culture. Climb the leaning Asinelli Tower and watch the city stretch out in warm hues and quiet rooftops. Then descend into streets where students, artists, and locals come together in effortless energy. Bologna doesn't try to impress. It simply is, authentic, unhurried, and endlessly compelling. A city that welcomes you like an old friend and lingers in your memory like the taste of a perfect meal. Turin is a city of quiet elegance, where grand boulevards stretch beneath the Alps and Baroque palaces whisper of a royal past. Once the first capital of unified Italy, Turin still carries itself with a noble grace, though it never begs for attention. It's a place of subtle charm, where every detail, from golden cafes to intricate arcades, invites you to slow down and look closer. Here, the scent of rich espresso mingles with the crisp mountain air, and mornings begin not with haste, but with a bicerin, layers of espresso, chocolate, and cream served in a small glass. It's the birthplace of Italian chocolate, after all, and some say of the aperitivo tradition too. Wander through Piazza Castello, or duck into the Egyptian Museum, a quiet marvel in a city full of surprises. And as dusk falls, the lights along the river shimmer like a dream, casting a golden glow on a city that reveals itself in layers, sophisticated, soulful, and quietly unforgettable. Capri feels like a dream floating on the sea, a small island with a timeless allure where sheer cliffs drop into sapphire waters and every breeze carries the scent of lemon and salt. It's a place where elegance comes effortlessly and beauty is found in every curve of the coastline. Take the winding path to Villa Jovis, where emperors once gazed out over the endless blue, or drift into the Blue Grotto, where sunlight bends through water to paint the cave with an otherworldly glow. The island moves at its own rhythm, slower, softer, inviting you to wander through bougainvillea-covered lanes or sip limoncello under the shade of a pine. At sunset, the view from the Gardens of Augustus is pure poetry, the Faraglioni rocks rising like guardians from a sea, the sky painted in warm golds and soft pinks. Capri is not just a destination. It's a feeling of romance, of serenity, of being gently removed from the rest of the world. Cinque Terre is a string of 5 ancient villages clinging to the cliffs of the Ligurian coast, each with its own soul, yet bound together by sun, sea, and centuries of tradition. The colors here are almost unreal. Pastel houses stacked like puzzle pieces, deep turquoise waters below, and vineyards that seem to defy gravity. You can arrive by train, by boat, or on foot, walking the narrow paths that wind through olive groves and lemon trees, where every bend reveals a new breathtaking view. Life moves gently here. Fishermen mend their nets by the harbor, and the scent of pesto and freshly baked focaccia fills the air. From the dramatic cliffs of Manarola to the tranquil harbor of Vernazza, every village has a rhythm, a charm that lingers long after you've left. Cinque Terre isn't just a place to visit. It's a place to feel, to slow down, to breathe, and to be awed by the simple beauty of life by the sea. The Amalfi Coast unravels like a dream, a coastline carved by time and kissed by the Mediterranean sun. Clifftop villages cascade down toward the sea, their whitewashed walls and terracotta roofs glowing against a backdrop of lemon groves and sapphire blue. Driving along the winding coastal road feels like floating between sea and sky. Every turn offers a postcard-perfect view. Boats bobbing in the harbors, domed cathedrals rising above the rooftops, and colorful houses balanced impossibly on rugged cliffs. In Positano, the streets are staircases, and the air is thick with the scent of citrus and sea breeze. Ravello offers silence and sweeping views, while Amalfi hums with history, once a mighty maritime republic, now a tranquil town that invites you to linger. Here, time stretches out. You sip limoncello at sunset, listening to waves echoing below, and realize that the Amalfi Coast isn't just beautiful. It's poetic, enchanting, and unforgettable. Lake Como is elegance and stillness, where deep blue waters mirror snow-dusted Alps and grand villas sit quietly among cypress trees. The lake's gentle rhythm is timeless, a place where luxury and nature coexist in perfect harmony. Boats glide across the glassy surface, connecting towns like Bellagio, Verona, and Menaggio, each with its own charm, pastel facades and cobbled paths leading to scenic lookouts and hidden cafes. Wandering here feels like stepping into a painting. Mornings begin with mist over the water. Afternoons bring golden light dancing on the waves, and evenings are best spent by the shore, where silence feels sacred. From Rome's ancient stones to Como's serene shores, Italy is a journey of emotion, color, and timeless beauty. If this cinematic escape moved you, consider liking the video, subscribing for more visual journeys, and sharing your favorite Italian town in the comments. Your next adventure begins with a single frame. Thanks for watching, and arrivederci for now.